Anti-Society, welcome back to the Anti-Social Planet, and today we are checking out chapters 74 and 75 of Season 2, Tower of God, and we had some nice introspection, some nice reflection from Bob in the last couple of chapters of him kind of thinking about who he is and what he wants and why he's even doing things, because that seems to be a bit of an issue. We have all of these people around him who have their own motives, their own things that are fueling the point of being in the tower, going up the tower is because you want something, right? You're going there to get some kind of wish granted or to get some kind of desire and that kind of a thing. And then you have Bomb, who doesn't really know who he is or what he wants. I call him Bomb, but he's also Violet, but he's also in between those two things. Both of those names have been given to him by other people and describe what he means to those people that gave it to him. So both of those kind of names in and of themselves don't describe who he actually is as well. And he's in this weird in-between place, especially since he keeps interacting with people from his previous life, previous all the way down in Evankel's floor. He's being called back to who he was instead of this Violet persona that he's been living in for so long as a way of basically coping, being able to deal with the betrayal and the almost dying and the having to be on his own kind of thing. I liked getting to see some of that from Bomb, but of course we are getting into the rematch between Anaak and Ran. I don't know why this fills me with so much happiness. There's just something about these two characters going head to head with each other that brings me pure joy. I try not to analyze that too much, but I am very excited to see how this goes. I'm assuming they won't be interrupted the way that they were last time, so we may actually see who a victor is, who is really the strongest. And of course there's a lot riding on this since there is the whole bonus bet thing going on as well, so we'll see if maybe Shibitsu can pull ahead a little bit more. He's not doing great in this whole bet part of the workshop battles. So I'm very excited for these chapters. Lots of little pieces going on right now as characters try to figure out what's happening while we're also getting into the workshop battles themselves. So let's get into this chapter, and this fight's gonna be good. I can just feel it. All right, group 29. It's true, Shibitsu. This seems like a good opportunity. You should just go for it. You're in the middle. You're either gonna not be the person who wins, or you could be the person that wins. It just seems like a good opportunity for you. Also, yes, it does seem too sweet, but at what point is it ever fair in the tower, right? Over and over again, the tower is not fair, so there's probably something else going on, but you might as well try. So one of them is definitely gonna lose. They will not be satisfied if it's a tie between the two of them. They'll be so mad. I honestly don't know. I'm gonna cast my bet in with Anaak just because I feel a strange loyalty to her. I don't have any other reason for that one. I would not be good at this. I would psych myself out. I do not believe that for a second, Shibitsu. He has time and time again surprised me. I feel like his outward appearance is someone who isn't outstanding or the strongest or the smartest in the room and all that kind of stuff, but I feel like it's deliberate. I feel like he's specifically putting himself in that role because he doesn't want people to see him as the strongest or the smartest or the outlier. He wants to just be friendly and goofy, and that's how people see him. And I feel like there's more to that. I like that I trusted them though. He's Anaak all the way. I'm totally there for that one. I don't like the giggle and the glowing eyes. That can't be good. Final round. Cool. I'm hey, you made it. Who's protecting him in this one? Because it's not Rock. He already had his time. I love my tiny ball of rage. He doesn't have a disguise. Wait, we went through all of that with Kun isn't a disguise. Rock was in a disguise, but Paracule's not. Are they gonna connect the dots and be hang on, if Paracule's here, Rock's here? Might be connecting too many dots. It might be messing things up a little bit there. I don't know if I would use honorable as the adjective to describe you, but whatever helps with the confidence. Oof. It's just running away. Yeah, that makes sense. I like how he's just go away. That's his strategy. He's lived this long, so it must have worked out in some ways for him. Yeah, where are the tiny ones that are just very ready to fight each other? This group's just standing off. Yeah, who's gonna get in between that, right? I feel I would just stand back and be let them fight it out, and I'll figure out what I'm gonna do later. Interesting to hear other perspectives on it, because I feel I don't really know either of their powers super well, because even though I'm I feel I know Anaak's abilities, it's based on what she was on Evankel's floor, not where she's at now. And Ren is a kind of still new to me, but I get that of like raw strength versus adaptability and skill set and how those two things are very different. So yeah, I think it could be a much closer round. But does he follow the rules? I was like, that's true. Anaak is a bit of a loose cannon. She does just do what she feels like, and even if that means she's gonna lose. Remember all the way back in Evan Kills Floor, we had the like crown game, and she was like, screw the rules, I'm gonna try and kill this person because I have the opportunity and I'm gonna take it, even though it's gonna mean that my team loses. A game with rules isn't really her forte. Yeah, I feel like no one's gonna interrupt. I feel like no one wants to get involved. The confidence. I feel like they might be a little bit insulted, but at the same time, they're not exactly geared up to pick a fight. Like, they're like, yeah, we shouldn't have to fight. You gotta please the audience, right? But didn't we just say that, like, Ram would do better in a game that has rules, though? And now he's just like, I want to get rid of all the other mechanics of this. The two of us fight, last one standing wins. All the other mechanics don't matter. I don't know, I feel like one, it's like getting rid of like the stuff that he doesn't need in the fight, and then two, it's like something to prove. He wants it to be a her strength versus my strength, and who wins. And not have it be this mechanic's in the way, or she lost because she broke a rule or something like that. It has to be like a test of strength and skill. Yeah, Alex just like, heck yeah. I don't know if I'd let go of the bat though. I feel like I'd use it in the fight anyway. Just like the nom nom in the bat. Some kind of specific thing that we're doing that Kun and Novik seem to know about. Like Onyx trying to be threatening, and he's just like continuing to nom. Oh, the little electric shocks are showing up. Yeah. He swallowed it. I'm like, I feel like he took the hit on purpose. Oof. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I feel like we're going Super Saiyan, and that scares me. Yeah, I feel like we've gone Super Saiyan. The hair has been swept back, which usually means that something intense is about to happen. I feel like that's part of the, like, whatever he ate was maybe like a stored up power. Because who are you? You're in Bomb's room? Okay, boundaries. You can't just walk into someone's room, especially when they're not there. Don't be weird. Beta, are you one of the experiments? Is he? I was like, Beta makes me think experiment. Are you the crazy one from before? I can't remember now. The one that Teddy Bear saw. Oof. I feel like Bomb's gonna learn a little bit more about what's going on. There's some craziness, to say the least. Are we looking for the missing one? Everyone seems a little bit worried about this. Yeah, I'd be worried about a slightly unhinged human ignition weapon being out on their own too. That would freak me out. Calling it a cage seems a little bit... Maybe we don't word it like that. Maybe. It's a cool shot. Just like taking down the stadium. Everybody run for your lives. He looks a little bit too pleased. I like how they're like, not you, Wangnan. I don't know if he is. With like before, Ron has more skill set, strategy, adaptability, and that kind of a thing. So I feel like there's probably a reason to why his attacks are landing the way that they are. And Anaak just can't see it yet. Ooh, the kick for the block though? That's a flex. Oh, especially like balanced. That was a cool shot to go through the whole thing, scrolling down. She's trying. Oh, hey, kicking her in the chin, low blow. Even if you do a fancy flip. I do like how all of them like overlap and there's like a change in angle and stuff, so you can get caught up in how chaotic the whole fight is. Like, it's disorienting because there's all this stuff happening in like quick succession. It's overlapping each other and it adds to the overwhelm of the fight. That too, of like how on a hit it's just like a blurred motion, but then Ron's hands are in focus. I really like how the choreography of the fights is mapped out visually. Ooh. Going for kicks a lot in this. Interesting that that's his go-to with the close combat. I feel like it has to be something that's like still playing fair, because Ron would not want to win unless it was his own power. Ah, see, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I feel like it's a concentration of his own power that he just saved up until he needed it. Fair enough. I mean, eating lightning into your body seems like something that might be a tad dangerous, that might hurt some people if not done correctly. Okay, follow-up question. Takes pill of concentrated Shinsu, gets dot on face. We've encountered someone with dots on their face before. A certain tall, yellow-clad person. Is that connected? Is it a trace of some kind? Or is it just the aesthetic? Questions that I will continue to ponder. Oh, there's a time limit. Thank you for sharing that there's a time limit and that you will be unable to walk after. Good to know. We just had to run out the timer. Like Shibitsu's, hang on, think it through. He's angering her, I'm sure, on purpose to like engage because he has a time limit. Yeah, that's what I just said. I do all the blue and scratched, almost like graffiti style stuff. There's some really cool background choices, and it started like really early on in this season to be playing around with the backgrounds a lot, and then it's just elevated in like the recent chapters where there's just some really cool things going on with the color and the kind of motion to how the backgrounds are put together. You can also like tire her out too, like use up her power and tire her out within that time frame too. Okay, deadly lightning seems like a little bit much. Deep breath, Anaak. I know calming yourself is not your strong suit, but I feel like he is like provoking her, because if she uses Shinsu 2 and tires herself out and uses up her power within that 5 minutes, he just has to take advantage of that at the end, right? When he still has a bunch of power and she's already used up hers. Oh, going for the chin again. What's up with that? Cool shot though with the track of movement. Yeah, if she just waited it out, if she was okay with just putting distance and like putting her strength and her like Shinsu into evading attacks and being faster and that kind of a thing, it would be fine. But he's provoking her so that she attacks head on. She uses her Shinsu for those attacks, and then he just has to dodge. Like, he just had to wait for her to wear herself out, and then he can attack and go on the offensive. Yeah, she's not gonna run away. It makes sense too now that he's like, I want to make sure that nobody interrupts this fight, because if somebody interrupts in those 5 minutes, then he's getting sidetracked, right? He's not focusing on Anaak. She can collect herself, she can buy some time while he's distracted by someone else. So it makes so much more sense now that he was like, let me take away this mechanic of the fight, because it's actually not going to help me with the technique that I want to use. Lots of headshots. That must be disorienting, like jarring. She's been hit in the head like 3 or 4 times, like specifically, let alone when she's been like thrown around and probably hit her head or been jarred by that movement. Oof. The like motion lines like forming around his foot, but it's her forearm, like ugh, like squeamish just thinking about it. Yeah, she won't run away. Yeah, it starts as a scratch, but then it continues to crack, right? Like you get more fissures once you have like that one weak point, and then you just have to keep hitting that weak point and it'll continue to break to the point of where like it all shatters, right? Ugh, I have a bad feeling about this. I like this track down the middle though. Through her heart, dang, just everybody calm down. Kun went with Ran. Interesting. We had like Shibitsu going Anaak, Kun going Ran. Oh, we're gonna end there? So unfair. That fight had some really cool shots as expected, especially with the kind of like electricity lightning ability that Ran has. It just looks really cool, like aesthetically. That part of that is just like my brain being like, ooh, pretty lights, which it does all the time. But I was expecting way more of a blow for blow between the two of them, and the fact that Ran just came in, Anaak got one-hitted at the beginning before the lightning pill had kicked in, and then after that it was like super one-sided. I was not expecting that, especially since like early on I was like, I'm gonna put my bet in with Anaak because I have a weird loyalty to her, especially with, it's basically the same thing that Shibitsu said, where I was like, I don't know, I'm just gonna go with the people that I've trusted up to this point. But it really is her downfall that like she just rushes into things, right? Like she's so impulsive and she is easily angered, and she just has a lot to prove, that the moment that someone pokes at her pride, it completely shatters anything that she has that is like strategy and clear thinking and being able to see the full picture of what is going on and what someone might be trying to do to her. I love like that being something that's like a strength and a weakness, right? Like she does not give up, she does not run away. So that's like a strength in a lot of cases, but it's also a weakness because there are times when maybe the best thing for her to do is to buy time or strategize or think something through, take a second, not engage, and think through the situation of what she can do about it, which is never what she does. And I like that we're seeing that, where it's, yeah, she's super powerful, and like from a strength side, she's stronger than Ran is, but because she can't think through the situation and buy herself some time and strategize to adapt to the situation, it doesn't matter how much raw strength she has if she doesn't know how to use it in a way that's effective. So then you have someone who, from a raw strength standpoint, doesn't have that. Now, of course, he's leveled up that strength a lot because he's stored this power away and he's bringing it out for this fight. But now you have someone who like doesn't have the same strength level being able to like really wipe the floor with her, because he's able to strategize and understand that he's not going to be able to win in a one-on-one fight just from pure strength. He has to pull out another strategy, another tool that he has saved up, and then also change the rules and the environment to best benefit him and that kind of a thing. And that's just something that Anaak is not going to do. So I like getting to like emphasize that weakness and focus in on it, especially since we've seen so much of that with the other characters before going into the workshop battles. There's been a real focus on what are the weaknesses, what are the strengths, what are the kind of like leverage points for these characters that can push them in different directions. But we didn't really get it for Anaak and a lot of Shibitsu's team and the people that he's been traveling with because we haven't really focused in on them. So getting to see some of that popping up now with the workshop battles is really cool to develop those characters more and check in with them and be like, yeah, they're super strong now. They still have things they haven't learned though. Even weaknesses that they had all the way back on Evankel's floor, some of them still have those because they haven't worked through them yet. So I loved getting to see all of those panels, and really cool to see how the fight scenes are choreographed and that kind of a thing, and lots of little cool things that are being added in as the art style developed, but not what I was expecting from that fight. So I hope you enjoyed reading that along with me. You can click this place to go and see my previous reactions, or you can subscribe so you miss next time I post a Tower of God reaction, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!